All right, guys, welcome to our Canadian-wide Scentsy Consultant Zoom. We have Carla Hunter with us, and I am super excited to hear her story. Normally what we do to start is we have any superstar directors that are on introduce themselves, but I'm just scanning right now. Do you see any that other than me and Carla? Is there anybody else on that's a superstar director? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm Tammy from Calgary, and I've been in for 9 years. And I guess, Carla, you're next, and then you can take it away. So introduce yourself, let us know how long you've been, and then she's going to share her story with us. I'm going to mute everybody, and then she can unmute. Oh, more people are coming. And then at the very end, after she's done sharing, we can open it up for discussion if you guys have any questions or anything you want to share. And then from there, I'll just stay on if you guys want to chat with each other, make some friends throughout Canada. So that's always fun too. So I'm going to mute everybody, and then Carla can take it away. All right.
You can hear me now? Okay. So I'll run through my story really quickly, and I'll try to make this training as short as possible because no one wants to listen to me for like an hour. So, because I do like to talk a lot sometimes when I do these trainings. So, my name is Carla Hunter. I have been a consultant since 2009. So right in the very beginning when it opened in Canada, I joined on the second day it came to Canada. Before Scentsy, I actually owned my own candle company. So I used to make candles for a living for about 6 years. So I made like jar candles, tea lights, votives, and I also made what you would call the Scentsy wax bars. So I made those too, you know, like the old ones, the actual rectangle. So I used to make those way back in the day. This is before Scentsy. I even heard about it, even knew about it. But I ended up selling my company in 2008, and I didn't do anything for a year, but I just kind of stumbled upon Scentsy somewhere online. I was on the computer and I was searching for stuff, and I just came across a link. And as soon as I emailed the lady who was now my sponsor, as soon as I emailed her for more information, she immediately got back to me within 20 seconds. Like my phone was ringing as soon as I asked the question. And I picked up the phone and I was like, hello. She's like, hi, this is Diane. I'm just calling because you were inquiring about Scentsy. And so we talked for about 5 minutes, but in my head, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, like, why is this person calling me? Like, I'm such an introvert to the point where I don't even like answering the phone, or I just don't want people bothering me. And so we talked for about 5 or 10 minutes. I asked her one question, and the only question that I wanted answered was, do they smell like the name on the title? Like if it says, I think we had cinnamon bun back then or something like that. I think it was cinnamon bun, sticky cinnamon bun. I said, does that smell like the name? And she said, absolutely. She's like, all of our stuff smells just like the name, because when I was making candles, it was really hard to find fragrances that actually sounded like what you were going to smell. So I always found that really hard, difficult when I was a candle maker. So that's all I wanted to know. Anyways, throughout the period, and that was before Scentsy opened. And during that time, she just called me and called me. I remember one day she called me about 3 times and I never answered the phone. And then just because I'm just that type of person who's like, really, I don't want to talk to this lady. Like, just, you know, I got my answer. That's all I needed. Please don't call me anymore. But anyway, because she was so persistent. We laugh about it now, but she was persistent. And she did contact me. I did answer the phone the day before it opened in Canada. And she was just asking, were you still going to join tomorrow? Did you want to have any questions that I can help you out with? So anyway, I ended up not even joining because there was so much issues with the website, because they had a new workstation and they had opened up a new region at the same time. So all of that didn't work. And so I was just like, oh, maybe this is a sign that I'm not supposed to join. So I actually didn't join because it took it as a sign that I wasn't supposed to. And she called me about 3 times the next day. And then finally I'm like, oh, okay, I'll answer the phone. And so I answered the phone on day 2. And she's just like, well, you didn't join. I'm like, well, I was having issues and it wasn't working. She's like, the issues are working. They're like, everything's fine now. It should be working fine. So as soon as I get off the phone with her, I immediately joined. Like within seconds, it was done and I had joined. So, and the reason I joined was because I needed something to do. I was just a stay-at-home mom. I know everyone, like I say just because, sometimes it's a thankless job and everybody just thinks that you're just nothing else other than a mother who does nothing at home and sits around with your kids and plays all day. So, like that's kind of how I was feeling. I was just a mom. I just really had no money for myself. Like all the family money was going towards everything everybody else needed, but not anything for me. I never, ever, ever bought myself a new shirt, a new pair of pants, a new jacket. Like I just didn't save any money on the side to get myself anything. So really, the reason why I joined was just to get out of the house, get away from my kids every so often, and have some pocket cash. That's all I joined for. There was no other big reason in my mind that I was going to do what I was going to do. I literally joined for no reason other than to help with groceries and maybe buy myself a t-shirt, a pair of jeans, like just something. And so when I first joined, I asked my sponsor, I'm like, how do you make money? And she gave me the easiest answer that I've ever heard. And I always tell everybody, and I always say it every single time. All she said to me was, you are to sponsor and not to ever stop. And I was like, that's it? And she said, yes. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I was determined and motivated right off the hop. And I mean, that sentence of her saying, don't ever stop sponsoring people ever in your business, doesn't matter how long you're in the business, never stop doing that. I always remember that. And still, I'm now 13 years in, and I always remember that. And I've been continuing to do that for the last 13 years. So I've never stopped doing that one thing in my business. I am the type of person, so just to kind of give you a little idea of how difficult it was for me to work this type of business, how difficult it is for me to meet other people. I am a major introvert. I don't leave my house. I am a hermit. I stay at home most of the time, and I like doing that. It's not like I don't like, I love it. I have anxiety in groups of people. So I have anxiety around new people. I have anxiety around people in a group of 3 or more. So if it's just one-on-one, I'm usually okay. But 3 or more makes me want to run and hide. I have anxiety around like people I don't know. Just, I don't know what it is. And and I think most people are like that. Most introverts are like that. And so introverts are introvert, right? And it took me a really long time to be okay with who I was and who I am. I don't live close to any family. My entire family lives in New Brunswick. So I don't live close to anybody that I grew up with or have family. So yeah, the most difficult thing about being an introvert is that you always think that you cannot succeed, because what you are seeing everybody else, you're watching people who are extroverts doing the business, and you're like, I don't have that personality. I can't do what they do because I'm not pretty enough. I don't dress well enough. My hair isn't nice enough. My voice and my speaking voice isn't great enough. I stutter. I literally have had all of those things running through my mind at all times. But I want people to know that you don't have to be an extrovert in this business to be able to succeed, because that is not what makes you succeed. I am not this public person, and I will never probably go up to somebody. I will never go up to somebody I don't know and introduce myself. That is not who I am. But I have put things in my business that will have people reach to me instead of me doing it first. I've built my business online. I've built my business at events. That's where I started, was events, and I still do events to this day. It's because when you're setting up a table, people are coming to me. Now it's my job when people come to me is to keep them in my business. And so I've made systems in my business to be able to do that. Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, I have worked so hard on practicing every single day, practicing something new, practicing reaching out to others, practicing. I remember in the very beginning when we never had cell phones back in the day, of Scentsy, we actually had to call people. I had to practice calling people. I had to practice texting people when cell phones started coming in. I had to practice being, and so I kind of explain it as I had to be my own secretary for my business. So like, let's just say you worked in a veterinarian's office and I was your boss. I would say you have to call every single one of these people and get them in for follow-up appointments or like vaccination appointments or whatever. Your job is to get these customers to come back and get their animals back in. And so I had to start doing that for me. If I wanted to grow my business, I needed the people that were coming to me to come back to me. And so I just made sure that I always had a follow-up plan in place. I always contacted my customers that I did have, and I never let them just go off to the side. But anyways, my story is that I deal with, like, I have such a hard time with anxiety and being an introvert that at one point in my business, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago, I remember I went to therapy. so I went to therapy years and years ago. And I remember telling her, okay, I have like 2 people inside me. One person is really great and she can, she's a really great businesswoman and she's grown this amazing company and she's done this and this and this. And she seems confident and she's all these really great things about myself that I wasn't thinking it was myself. It was just this persona, business person right here. But then I said, then there's me though. I'm like, have anxiety. I'm a hermit. I don't like being around people. And all the bad things I know about myself is who I actually am. And I left that day like with these 2 separate people, the negative person who I actually am, and this businesswoman who is not me, but is like sitting off to the side. And I did not attach her to myself. So the next time, like the next week that I went and seen my therapist, and she's like, Carla, she's like, I've noticed something here, that you are 2 separate people. You are this negative person, but this positive person, you are not. Why are you not attaching her to you? I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing that. And she's like, you are that. You are great. You are smart. You are honest. You are a great business person. You are a leader. You are doing all these amazing things. Why? Like, that is you as well. So you are the good and the bad things together. And when I left there, I was just like, oh my God, she is so right. She is so right. Like, I am anxiety and a hermit and an introvert. And I have to, like, I'm okay with that now. After that appointment, I came out of that and I'm like, to myself, like, yeah, I am great. I am great. But yeah, I also enjoy being an introvert, because when I try not being an introvert, my gosh, like, I have to re-energize myself for like 3 days. When I go do extrovert stuff, I have to re-energize for 3 days. And now I just tell people, okay, after SFR, I'm not going to talk anybody for 4 days. So I'm just going to go do my thing and you guys go do your thing. Or if I need a break when I'm out doing extroverted things like Scentsy events or whatever, my roommate knows that we don't talk when we get into the room. So, I mean, and that's usually Megan's usually my roommate. And so we'll get back to the room at like 7, 8, or 9 o'clock at night, and we sit silent because that's what I need to refresh my brain. And I am now okay with that. If someone doesn't like that, then that's their own problem. That's not my problem anymore, because I am this person that you may not like, but I am also really great. And I've built amazing business with strategic things that I've done. And anybody who is an extrovert can be successful, just like I have. I became a single mom in 2013, and I did not have to go back to work. I was able to take care of my kids on my own and not have any second income coming in helping me. So I've been taking care of my kids by myself since 2013. And so that's kind of my story. And I would say after 13 years, I have now a group of about 10,000 team members. We have hundreds of leaders, directors, superstar directors underneath, who are also having amazing businesses as well. But I have noticed recently, we have some unmotivated consultants now talking to me that they're unmotivated. So I wanted to do a training today talking about being unmotivated, because I actually worked my business for 11 or 12 years. And it's been probably about a year and a half ago that I became unmotivated. And I became unmotivated. The reason why I became unmotivated is because I reached all my goals. I got everything that I wanted. I have enough money. I have the titles. I've got Shining Star one year. I've got 10,000 people in my downline. I have beat my numbers and other people, like I've been beating other people's numbers that I've been sort of trying to catch. So I've been like, I've just reached all my goals. I have nothing else to get. I have no other goals to get. And so that's what unmotivated me, because I need goals and you know what, the funny thing is that for these past 13 years, people would do trainings about goals. And I'm like, I don't need that, whatever. I'm fully motivated because I didn't finish my goals. My goal was to beat a certain number. My goal was to be up here. And I wasn't there until I got unmotivated. When I got unmotivated, because I had reached it. And so, yeah, for these past 10, 12 years or whatever, when people used to say, you need a goal, I kind of didn't really believe it, because I felt like I had a natural goal in my brain to be here. And now that my goals are done, I have no more to reach. And so now I'm just like, now what? What now? Like, what am I going to do now? And so I had to reevaluate my goals. So I'm going to talk about when I got unmotivated. I just told you that about, but how did I get my motivation back? So first thing I want you to understand is that how motivation works. So I've had team members message me and they'd be like, Carla, is there a training that I can watch? I want to get back into the business, or I want to get back to doing more with the business. Is there a training that I could watch that you would suggest? Is there a book that I should read that you would suggest to get motivated? So the truth is, there is no training and no book that you can read to get motivated. No training and no book will ever get you motivated to work your business. And here is why this is. And here's why actually you keep chasing that. Now, if you go back to when you're a brand new consultant, so you say you joined. When you joined, you're motivated. You're instantly motivated right off the bat, right? You go and watch a training, you get more motivated, you get more ideas, and then you go and do that idea because you're motivated to do that idea. Then you go and read a book and you get more motivated on a new idea or a new thing, and you go and do that idea. It's just you keep picking up ideas because you're motivated in the first place, right? So you will work your business really hard because you're motivated to begin with. When you get to a point where you have no motivation at all, you can get short bursts of motivation by probably reading a book or watching a training. But when you wake up tomorrow, that motivation is gone. So I can sit here and do a training for you all day long, but when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to forget about it and you're not going to be motivated anymore, because motivation does not last longer than you wake up in the morning. So I have done tons of training with my team, tons of training with people, and I'm a really good motivator. But I had to get to the point in my business where I had to understand that motivation does not last with people who are unmotivated. I can talk to you all day long. I can talk to you for an hour on the phone, but when you wake up in the morning, that will decide if you're going to be successful or if you're just going to continue to go on day to day to day doing the same unmotivating things. And so remember, motivation lasts only until you wake up in the morning. So you can be motivated watching this, but it depends. When you wake up in the morning, you have to decide, what are you going to do in the morning? Because I can't motivate you tomorrow. I can only motivate you right now to get you to do something in the morning. So I'm going to give you like 4 things to help you get your motivation back. And these are the only things that worked for me. And the biggest thing is, number 1 is action. Action is not watching training. Action is not reading a book. Action is not scrolling on Facebook. Action is not any of that. Action is sitting down and doing actual business work. That is the only way to get your motivation back, is to make yourself do it. Are you going to want to do it? Absolutely not. But you have to make yourself do it. And so what I had to do for me is, number 2, actually, is make a work schedule. So what I had to do for me was I had to commit to a work schedule. I came to my desk and I'm like, okay, like, how am I going to get this back? Like, how am I going to get my motivation back? Like, where is this going to come from? So I sat and I committed to a work schedule. I committed for a couple months, but I would like you to commit for at least 30 days. So make a work schedule. Are you going to work an hour a day? Are you going to work 3 hours a day? For me, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Still, my kids now, when I joined, my kids were 4 and 6. My kids are now 18 and 20. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. Well, am I really? My kids are 18 and 19. Do I keep calling myself a stay-at-home mom? I don't know what to do anymore. They're old enough to like do whatever. So I've never really thought about that before. Am I still a stay-at-home mom? I don't know. Yeah, I committed to a work schedule because I'm a stay-at-home mom, or so I work from home. Because I work from home, I have an 8-hour, is it 8 hours I do? I do from 9 to 2. Well, that's only 5 now. So in the last couple of years, I've been doing 5. Before then, like when I first started Scentsy for the first like 8 years, I literally was working 12 hours a day. So like I never stopped. But as the kids went to school and stuff, I started doing their school hours. So it'd be like 8 to 3 was, I remember for a couple of years I did 8 to 3, but now I'm about 9 to 2 or 3 because I have a pretty good system in place and I actually sit and do work. I try not to scroll on Facebook, but that doesn't work sometimes. But yeah, I do try really hard to commit to work hours. So those are the 2 things. Action. With action, here's the thing: you have to do something every single day for 30 days. And there's a saying out there, I don't know what it is, and it's something like you need to create a habit. I think, is it 23 days to create a habit or something like that? So commit to doing something for 30 days every single day. Or even if you can't do something like that, do Monday to Friday, like do your regular work work days that you would with a 9 to 5 job, or whatever you can do to commit to doing something every single day. But that is the only thing. Those two things were big for me. Those were the major two things that were huge for me, and those are the two things that got my motivation back, because now I was in a habit of sitting down and doing something every single day. And I wasn't saying to myself, I'll do it tomorrow, I do it tomorrow, I do it tomorrow, because I committed to doing it. Number 3 is I made a new goal. And I have realized I have made a new goal before, and it didn't put a fire in my belly. So it didn't motivate me. I'm just like, oh, I'm going to try and reach this. So if you're like a certified consultant, you're like, oh, I'm going to try to get to star consultant. But if you don't have that fire to get there, it's not going to happen. And so I have made goals, but those goals didn't really make me want to get there. Like, I wasn't crazy to get there. So, it has to be a goal that you really want to achieve. And if it doesn't motivate you, take it off your list. And number 4 is get back to having a social media presence, or some sort of presence with your customers and how you've done it before. For example, you're going to want to post every day. You're going to want to start engaging with people, not Scentsy consultants. Engage with people and friends on your social medias. Update your social media with your website. If that is not something that's on your Facebook profile, you have to have a website listed. Update it with new updated pictures, and remind people that you're still a consultant. Because if you've been silent, a lot of people come to your Facebook to see if you're still selling Scentsy. And if it doesn't look like you're selling Scentsy anymore, they're like, oh, she's not a consultant anymore. So that's important. Just remind people that you are a consultant. You don't have to tell them, but just start posting every day. So I'm going to give you guys a 30-day challenge. And I have 6 things written down. And so here is your challenge. Number 1, figure out your work schedule and commit to it when you wake up in the morning. Number 2 is create your list of 100. Now, with the list of 100, I teach my team a little bit different now, or I've been teaching people a lot different in the past 2 years of how to work with your list of 100. And here's how to work with your list of 100. You're going to write out your customers, your friends, your whatever, like on a list of 100. And then every day you're going to pick 5 people off of that list of 100, and you're going to engage with them. You're not going to call them and talk to them about Scentsy. You're not going to message them privately and say, do you want to buy Scentsy? You're not doing any of that. You're opening up your social media and you're checking to see if they posted recently or today. And you're going to post underneath their post. Whenever somebody posts online, and I know you all do it too. Whenever you post online, say you went on a family vacation, what you do for the next day or 2 is you're going back to that post to read the comments that people are leaving. And you're doing that on purpose to see what people and who are commenting on your stuff. That's what you have to do for other people that are posting. Don't do it for Scentsy consultants, because you don't want Scentsy consultants' feeds to be popping up into yours. Work strictly with your list of 100. And just comment under other people's posts. If they are going on a summer vacation for the weekend and they're posting pictures, tell them that looks like an amazing place. Where are you guys? Like, engage with people. Pick 5 people a day and just go to their social media. I mean, don't be weird if this person hasn't posted on social media in like, a year. I wouldn't be posting because that's strange. But just start engaging with people who you are friends with, because when you're interested in them, they will be interested in you. And so if you're consistently, then now you're starting to post regular stuff on your own social media, like Scentsy stuff or Scentsy images, they're going to come to your page and see what you're doing, because you're now interested in them. They're going to be interested in you. So I've stopped telling people to start don't be messaging your list of 100 to buy Scentsy. I just think it's silly, because it's like cold calling, right? You don't want to cold call. Cold calling is not cool, right? You don't want to message somebody out of the blue and ask them to join your team if you haven't talked to them in like 90 or like, 90 years. So it's the same thing. Engage, and but the thing is, it's like you can engage with somebody you haven't talked to in 2 years because she just posted something on the weekend and now you can comment underneath it. So that's how you start that, right? And to gain new customers, you continue using your list of 100 that way, because when you post a beautiful image of a Scentsy warmer, and that person will then love it, or that person will comment underneath it because you've messaged underneath their post, they're now going to be interested in what you're doing. So that's one thing. Create your list of 100 and engage with 5 people a day. Number 3 is post 7 days a week. One thing, at least minimum one thing. For 5 of those days, make sure it is not a flyer. No flyers allowed. For 5 days, I want you to post a real life image of like a beautiful warmer, one warmer, not 10 different warmers in the same post, because when you start, you want to create consistency, right? And you want to have enough content that you can create consistency. You don't want to post 60 of our warmers in one post, because what are you going to post tomorrow, right? You can't, it's weird. Choose one warmer every single day and post a real image of it. It doesn't have to be your image. There is a search bar on Facebook. So if you go into Facebook, go into the regular search bar, you can type in, for example, let's see, Scentsy, I don't know, what warmer do we got right now? Bless This Home Warmer or something. You type in Bless This Home Warmer Scentsy, Bless This Home Warmer, and click search. You will see consultants posting real images of that warmer turned on. I usually take no more than 2 of real images. I don't use flyers. Choose pictures that will look good in someone's house. When they look at that picture on your Facebook, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I love that. It looked great in my house too. And you're not selling it. You're not going to then say this warmer is $46. If you would like to order it, contact me. That's not, let's try not doing that for the next 30 days. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to say, this warmer, if you have a rustic home or a farmhouse modern home, this warmer would look amazing. Or you could say something like, I love this warmer. This is one of my new favorites. Nothing about selling it. Don't do any of that. What you're doing is you are showcasing the beauty of the warmer. So you're to do that with 5 items, 5 a week, 1 warmer a day for 5 days. 2 of those days out of the 7 days, you're going to do then some sort of like a salesy post, like maybe like something from the clearance section, or the bring back my bars, the 12 bars for bring back my bars, or something that's going to sell out soon or like get discontinued that people are going to have to purchase. So you can do 2 salesy posts in a week. I mean, it's not super salesy, right? And you find really nice images for that too. So if you want to find an image for the 12 Scentsy bars, go into Facebook, type in 12 Scentsy bars. You will find there is, I already looked, but you will find there are consultants using this one photo. Lots of consultants are using the same picture. You can use that picture and it's nice. They're just all stacked. There's like 12 bars stacked this high. And you can say something like, I bring back my bars are only available in June. You can list out the scents if you want to or whatever, but you can say these are 12 for 60, what was it, 60? 12 for 66? What was it? Something. Yeah, and just say, message me to place your order. You can do 2 salesy posts. There's also in the clearance section a really nice warmer, and it's called the Glitter Magenta. You can type in Scentsy Glitter Magenta, and it'll pop up, and that's on sale right now. So that could be another post for 2. Anyways, that's kind of usually a good thing to keep in mind, is you could do 5 social media, beautiful picture posts, 2 salesy posts, and a join post, right? So, and then it's not that salesy. Number 4 is follow up with every single customer you've ever had. If it's a customer that's way too long, way back when, and you don't feel comfortable contacting them, I usually then offer them or check with them to see if their light bulbs are working or if they want a new catalog. So that's kind of where I go with people who I want to connect with, but I'm just like, it's been way too long. So I always just do that warmer follow up and just say, I'm just checking to see if your bulb is still working or if you needed a new catalog. So that's number 4, is follow up with every single customer you've had. Number 5 is create consistency. So this is the challenge. When you wake up tomorrow, you are to start creating consistency. As number 6 is what I want you to do right now. Is I want you to write on paper right now, on its own paper, and I want you to say, today I will sit and commit to working, day 1. And I want you to post it on your fridge. Where do you go the very first thing when you wake up in the morning? That's where I want you to post it. Because when you wake up tomorrow, yes, you guys are all writing in your books and you're all writing things down, and I'm kind of like that too. And then I shut the book and never look at it again. Write on paper, today I will sit and commit to working. This is day 1. And I want you to put that either on your desk where you're going to sit tomorrow, on your fridge where you're going to see it tomorrow, or somewhere on the kitchen table when you're going to walk by it as soon as you wake up in the morning. But start your commitment tomorrow morning that you're going to work for the next 30 days and be consistent. Because the only thing that works to get out of a funk is consistent action. That's it, action. And once you start working your business, then you start seeing success. And when you get success, then you get excited. And you want that excitement to come back. If you don't have that excitement, that's how you're going to get excitement, by working your business, getting a new customer, getting a new sale, and then you start feeling really good about your business. And then that's when your business starts succeeding, because now you're just super excited and now you have your motivation back and you can go learn something new and you be motivated to do that new thing. Number 5 was create consistency. So yeah, create consistency. So that's all I have for you guys today. Number 4 was follow up with every customer you've ever had.
That was so good, Carla. My gosh, that was so good. And I love that you gave us all a focus. I was writing notes like crazy, and I promise that I'm going to write that down too. So it actually sticks. I get you. You're like writing it down and then shut the book, and that felt good.
Yeah, that is true.
That was so good. Does anybody have any questions or comments or wants to share? Yep. So just unmute yourselves, guys.
I have a question. Very briefly, when you said to follow up with every customer, regardless of how long you've had them, what form do you contact the person that is, I don't know, a year and a half old that you haven't spoken to in that long? What would you do? Email, phone, whatever?
I guess it depends. I mean, I've done it many different ways. I've done email. I mean, if they were a text customer to begin with, I would text them. And I would say something like, hey, this is Carla. You ordered Scentsy from me from last year. I'm just following up. And this week I was just working on handing out new catalogs. And I'm just wondering if you wanted a new one. So just a way that would make it comfortable, but not salesy at the same time, to get in there. Because as soon as you offer a catalog, they usually say yes. So
I usually offer samples with it as well, because I feel like who's going to say no to a sample? So that's exactly what I do. Is when there's people, I'm like, man, she hasn't ordered in like 2 years.
Yeah,
I'll just shoot them a message on usually Messenger, because that's how I usually do it. But I'll just say, I was thinking of you, and I've got a bunch of new catalogs and a bunch of new samples. Did you want me to get you one? And like 100% of the people say yes.
If it was a PWS order, so if someone ordered on my PWS, I usually email them, because I have texted people before. They're like, well, I ordered on your website because I didn't want any communication from you. So I will email my PWS because they want nothing from me other than getting their stuff.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yep, go ahead.
This is Margaret. When you say down, like sit down and commit to working like 5 hours a day, my question is, maybe I should know that already, but what do you do for the hours, or like when you sit down and working, like every day type of thing?
So
Where should I start?
So I mean, if you want to sit down and start doing that, one of the things that you can start with is immediately start with your customer base.
Okay.
So get your list of your customer base, figure out how, like, however long you've been a consultant, see if you can, create a list of customers. So that usually takes quite a while to start with.
Yeah.
And then just reaching out to them, making sure that you could either post every day or schedule your posts every day. That's something that you can do. I actually work in a 4-week system for my team. I have built a team. So I work in a 4-week system and I use this sheet here. So week 1, it would be like the things that I do for my team. Like I email them congrats of different things. But for my team, I work on a week system. So week 1, I'll put like welcome email to the new team. I email 500 PRV, 200 PRV. I email reinstatements. I update my linked tree. I try and connect with so many frontline in week 1, and then week 2 would be my mail outs to my team, order business supplies, connect with my directors, connect with more frontline. If I was going to do training that week, that's on there. Week 3, I email people who are going to be certified soon. I look through numbers and, just like, and then put samples in there. So I work on a 4-week system because I don't like opening up a calendar and then saying I'm doing sponsoring today, I'm doing hosting stuff the next day, and I'm doing certain things each day, because I've missed a day, I'm never going to go back and do it. So
Okay.
I work in a week, so I have 7 days to complete my week 1. So you can actually use this however you want. If you don't have a team, or if you're not interested in building a team, you can put your to-dos in each week. Of what you want to do, like what week you want to make samples, because when you get to a new month, there's always lists running through your head. I need to do this, and this. Whereas I already know my sample stuff is usually done on week 4, because my other 3 weeks are full. I don't have much to do on week 4, so I'll do samples and I'm not like getting my samples in week 2 and be like, oh my gosh, I have to do samples now. And I don't have to worry about it until that week. And in the week, I just have 7 days to complete it.
Mhm.
That's sort of how I run my business, is on a 4-week system monthly. It's super easy. I just check it off. But
Okay,
there's
I
always
haven't been
something.
at-
I mean, if you're motivated and you want to do something for 5 hours, there's you can watch one training a day, you could do some sort of personal development a day, but that just only if you're motivated. If it's something that you hate doing, stop doing it, right? Just do the things that you like doing, and that'll keep you wanting more in the business.
I was very touched by the one that you said unmotivated. I have been telling Wanda, because she's my upline, that I haven't been very motivated this last month. I've only been a consultant for a year, so I did have 3 downline, but I just lost one, and none of them have, well, my last one that I sponsored actually did like, I think 100 PRV or something like that. So that's all my downlines have done. So I was a little discouraged by them, but I've never been a big, like, I want a downline type of thing. I figured I can just do it on my own type of thing, right? So I guess I haven't worked on that the hardest, but I have done pretty good, like just for myself. It's just now I feel like I'm not motivated, and what am I doing wrong? Or like, I feel like I don't have more time, right?
Yeah,
So
you'll notice though, we can be motivated for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
yeah.
And we've have this wheel spinning. Once you get off that wheel, it's really hard to get back on it. It's really hard to push that wheel, start pushing that wheel. And the major thing is wake up tomorrow morning and start doing something with your business. Don't focus so much on what your group number is, because I know we have a lot of leaders and a lot of people building teams. Their motivation level comes from their group number.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be what's happening. You should not consider success based on what your group number is. That's not what success is. Success is action. Success is doing your own business and not worrying about whatever everybody else is doing. Because once you attach your success to your group number, so you have a group number of 5 and now you're down to 4, that's only hurting you. If you're attaching your feelings to your group number, that's only going to hurt you, not anybody else. And so
Yes.
just continue doing your own business, your own sales. If you want to start focusing on building your team, then move in that direction. It's not, not everybody wants to build a team, but if you do want to build a team, there are resources and people to help you, and trainings, and but the thing is like, keep your, it's plus we're going to be going through summer here, so the sales are going to be a little bit low in June and July. That's totally normal. That has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with anything. It's just normal. And what we do in the summer is keep that wheel spinning. If you're jumping off that wheel in the summer, by the time August comes and the new incentive period comes, you're going to be missing out on 2, 3, 4 weeks of sales because you've not gotten on that wheel. Because usually people get back on the wheel in September, right? And you're missing out on the wheel in August, right? So don't get off the wheel in the summertime, because it's only going to hurt you in the fall.
Yeah, and that's what I don't want. I don't want to have to come back if I'm new again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Carla, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I might be confused. I'm sure I am. So on my Facebook page, like my group page, I, like you said, to post like a warmer a day for 5 days. And for 2 days, you said like a sales poster, something like that. So I don't know if I'm doing mine right or wrong, because generally with mine, like I do a good morning post and there's always a good night post. And then in between, I'm posting 7 different things, whether it's an interactive thing, whether it's a bring back my bar, whether it's like, the waxes, a warm or whatever. Like, am I posting too much?
I don't know if I don't think you're posting too much. There's a lot of people out there that post a lot. I'm just giving the to start off with doing it. Start off with 1 a day until you get consistency in what you're doing.
Okay.
So if you want to post more than that, it's absolutely okay. But when you start posting flyers is when you don't normally get a lot of interaction. So just try and keep it to real life images, and you can find those real life images in Facebook search, super easy. Everybody has images and you can search for them really easy. The only thing I would totally stress is try and stay away from flyers.
Yeah, when you say, sorry, I'm sitting here in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But when you said flyers, what do you mean by flyers?
So I mean like a picture with a price on it, or a picture that somebody made,
Professional,
with a whole bunch of things on it with words on it. Yeah.
Okay. And when you also said, I'm sorry, I have lots of questions. I'm not going to bombard you with them, but I'm fairly new. I started in March. You said contact your 100s. Where is it? I wrote it down.
Right, your list of 100.
Yeah. Are you talking like?
So a list of 100, there's training all over the place on the list of 100. So the list of 100 is a list of people that you know or acquaintances that you know. So, so like your cousin or there is actually a really good video on YouTube, how to create your list of 100. But what people used to train on years ago was then you were supposed to like contact them and see if they wanted some Scentsy. So I'm teaching people not to cold call like that. Instead, we would rather you engage with those people on Facebook in some way that has nothing to do with Scentsy. So let's just say you have an aunt or a cousin and you think they would like Scentsy, or they're acquaintance of yours and you know them, family or whatever, and they're on your list of 100, then you would just go to their Facebook page or whatever social media they use and comment under their most recent post, right? And so because when you are engaging in people, they're going to engage back with you, right? So when you post Scentsy, they're going to see it because you've already engaged it on their Facebook, right? And so your feeds will now pop up into theirs. So whatever you post, they will see. So yeah, Megan Duff just said Frank. So friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and like kids, teachers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's separate from, like, I have my my group page. So
it's separate from your customers, yes, because your customers are already in your business, and we use it mostly to gain new customers.
Okay, yeah.
And also because like this is a relationship business, people don't necessarily just buy a product, they have to be connected to you. So that's why if you're commenting, like she said, they went on a trip or whatever, you're creating a relationship that's very natural. And so now when it does evolve into Scentsy, it'll just be natural. It won't be cringy, just kind of be a friend.
Yeah, I know I've contacted a couple of people and I know now who not to contact. Like I've had customers that have bought, and sometimes I'll say, oh, you know what, just want to let you know that the sale's coming up or whatever, just in case you wanted anything. And I know this lady said to me, yeah, no, I really don't need anything right now, but thanks for thinking of me. And I did have another girl who had said to me, don't take offense to this, but she said, can you not send me anything or whatever? I don't know what it was. And I thought, okay, so, I mean, there's certain people now that I've got to look at that I'm not going to send anything to. Like I almost found like some.
I think we all have some customers like that. They just wanted their one product and not be contacted ever again. But don't take that as every single one of your customers is going to be like that, because I have actually heard comments from my team members say those exact same things, and then they never follow up with their customers because they've had one or two negative experiences with two customers. Most customers aren't like that. Usually when I take their order or deliver it, I'll say, okay, I'll contact you in a couple months to see if you need more. So that is your response to now be able to contact them in 3 months to ask for another, because you've told them you're going to do that. So that's what I found worked for me, is making sure that I say that. I'll contact you in a couple months to see if you need anything else, because then they know that's going to happen and they're not, you know what I mean? So I found that was easy for me. And yeah, you'll get some people that'd be like, don't contact me, don't do nothing. And I'm like, okay, so, let those people be. Maybe they just want to watch your stuff. Maybe they will contact you when they're ready.
Okay, thanks.
Is there ways of finding events that are available in your area so that you can grow the people that you're meeting?
So what I have found is you have to be 3 or 4 months early. So you have to know your stuff before. So if you're like looking for, say, shows for summer, you may have already missed them because you didn't research for them prior. So you do have to be 3 or 4 months early. Yeah, I mean, one way is to Google it for one thing, like trade shows in the city you live in. Yeah, just type in trade show city. You can type in markets, or you can even connect with other direct sales people in your area and ask them if there's markets that they go to. So, or you can go to a market and meet up, like see a lady at a table and say, do you know if there's any other markets around? You know what I mean? So, but that's how I found most of mine, is by just Googling the information. And they usually come up. So if you know of them, or if you don't know of any, I would start reaching out to some different direct sales companies in your area, or ones that that do have tables at certain events, and just ask them if there's other events that they go to.
Okay, thank you.
But you do have to be 3 or 4 months ahead. So you should be looking now for fall, honestly. Because you're going to want to know when that registration date is. You don't want to miss that.
When does the fall catalog start?
August 1, right?
Okay.
Yep.
And that's when I will order new catalogs, right, for my customers?
Yeah.
Actually, next month they should be available, and they're usually on sale the month before, like in the transition month. So we should see those pop on. They'll announce that.
Okay, yeah, I'm still getting used to my
Yeah, no, you've never been
workstation.
through a transition yet. So yeah, there's lots to know, but all the supplies should be available next month and on sale.
Yeah, I can't watch the videos. Like since I joined in March, I haven't been able to watch one of the training videos. For some reason, my iPad will not load, like it'll start and then it won't run. And I've talked to Scentsy about it. Like
Fancy ones.
and
Try
yeah,
going on. There's lots of consultants that do training on YouTube. So if you can't get the Scentsy ones to work, I would head straight to like YouTube. There's a really great ladies out there that do training.
okay.
And there's also a couple of groups on Facebook. So if you message me after, I can text you a couple links to, like, there's the monthly movement group, there's United We Rise group, and they do, I think the monthly movement, they did a training today.
Okay.
United We Rise do them every Monday. So there are Facebook ones too.
Okay, thanks.
I have a quick question about Facebook. How much are you allowed to put on your personal Facebook page about Scentsy?
With
Are there rules?
Facebook has rules. Just don't be too salesy. That I would just
Right.
say, don't be too salesy on Facebook, on your regular Facebook.
Yeah.
But technically you can post as much as you want. I haven't seen anybody, and just be leery of posting your website too much on Facebook because you can get it taken down. So just always make sure that your website is linked in your bio on your Facebook, and so it's always there. But yeah, you can technically post however often you want.
Mhm.
I haven't seen anybody have issues with posting on your Facebook, but your personal Facebook is where you're going to gain your new customers, because that's people who are not even purchasing Scentsy from you are there, right? Because you're friends with them. So that's why you want to post there. I know a lot of people, when they join, they go directly into a group and only promote to their customers, and they're not getting new customers.
Yeah.
You have to get new customers. That's the whole point of this business, is getting new. So always friending new people, and you know, like if you have friends, just add them. And you know, I heard the over 30 group is all Facebook crazy. So anybody under that age, you're not going to find them on Facebook. And it's like the old crew here on Facebook. But
Yeah.
So is there other places to go besides Facebook? Because I know, like, I have one customer that she's quit Facebook altogether, but she's kept a name that she uses so that she can see my stuff, or another company, or the marketplace, but she doesn't want any Facebook. And a lot of people are saying that they're like, they don't want to use Facebook anymore because it's putting people in jail.
I mean, there's other platforms. I haven't found success on other platforms, honestly. I have team members that have found success on like Instagram. Instagram, you use it the same as Facebook technically. But yeah, I have a lot of team members that have success on Instagram. I don't.
I haven't had any either on there. I've put some on there.
But there's also like TikTok. TikTok is where you're gonna find like the young crew in there. Snapchat, literally, I have no clue, but you know, I guess any social media app you want to focus on, you can probably become successful if you figure it out. But for people who are not on Facebook or your customers, I have texting with them. So so for example, I have a group text with all of my customers that want to get my text, and I use Project Broadcast for that. And so when something new is announced or a sale is announced, I will text them the information with the link to my PWS. And so they don't have to be on Facebook to get that information. They're getting the information as soon as I know about it, with a picture, a small write-up about it, and when they can purchase it, and the link to the PWS item. So we usually get it announced on Wednesdays or Thursdays. I will send it out as soon as I get it. And then I will post a reminder, or like a scheduled post that will go out Monday. at 11:05. So usually 11:05, because then they don't have to wait as long in the queue if there's a queue. And then they will get a text at 11:05 saying the Bring Back My Bars are now available, and they are 12 for 66. Gosh, how do I not know that?
Yeah,
66.
66.
12 for 66. And I literally had at least 6 orders very quickly by that one text. And so that's something that, like I said, I do have business systems in my business. And one of them is when I'm taking somebody's order, I'll say, do you want instant text when something new comes out or a sale happens? Like, I'm not using it to chat back and forth. Like, and I'm not using it to say, hey, do you want a catalog? Do you want a 6-pack of bars? I'm not using it like a texting system that way. I'm using it to only announce what's up and coming. And when a flash sale comes, I have the group of customers that I immediately notify, and they will go shopping immediately. So
That's awesome. I love that.
but yeah, if they're not on Facebook, and I recommend every single person to get on some sort of a group texting app to text out when brand new stuff is announced.
Yeah.
The program I use is Project Broadcast.
Is it easy to use for people that don't know anything about technology and feel old?
It's not too bad.
Okay.
It's not too well, there's a little bit of training, I guess. That
Okay. Yeah.
You just have to open up a campaign. I think you have to open up a campaign and put
Okay.
people into the tag or something.
Okay.
I should do a little training on it at some
I was
point.
going to say, is there somewhere to go? I've wanted to do Project Broadcast for a while, but I don't want to pay money and not know what I'm doing and waste my time. So I would like to find some training somewhere so that I know what I'm doing.
Right. A Project Broadcast actually doesn't cost that much. I think I'm on a pay as you go. So when the amount goes away, they automatically charge my card for another like $10 or something.
Okay.
Right. So it's not too bad. But in Project Broadcast, you will open a tag. It's called a tag.
Mhm.
And on the tag, I just put customer, and people can actually text my phone the word customer, and it'll automatically put them into the group.
Oh, okay.
And it'll also, I set up a little thing that will like message them and say, congrats, or thank you for signing up for blah, 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 blah. And it's a little thing that is sent back to them.
It's not like Messenger. Like I know when you do a group message on Messenger, then when somebody comments, they all get the little comments. No, okay.
It's one person at a time.
Oh.
So if you get texted, it'll go through Project Broadcast app, not your phone number, like
Sure.
not your phone.
To all those people, and they can.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can message through it if they want to. And only them and you will see
Okay.
their answer if they're texting you back through that.
Because I know with Messenger, when you do the group messages, people get annoyed because like if anybody says anything, it's
Yeah, I always tell them also that I only use this to text out. Yeah, because if you're going to start texting within it, you're going to be charged. Like them texting you is free, but you texting them back is not.
Okay.
I think that's how that works.
So you use it for like, this is what's new.
I
That's
strictly
it.
use it for sending out sales that show up, what's going discontinued. If on the last day I'm like this, and this is getting discontinued.
Yep.
I'll use it for what's new is coming. And I make sure
Love
I
that.
text them Monday at 11:05 as soon as it launches.
Yep.
But yeah, I highly recommend that for everybody, because then people don't have to be on Facebook and looking at your stuff. You could just announce it. So
Great.
Carla, I have a question for you.
sure.
So I do a lot of online parties. Like I get people that want to do them. I think I've run 6 now, and I'm just wondering, like, I know Scentsy will say run them for 15 days or something. I'm running one with a girl right now, and she does have orders, like, but she hasn't hit where she can get hostess points or anything. And, when people say they want to do parties, it's because they usually want to get the hostess credits and that. So I'm just like, I'm thinking I'm going to stop this one on Sunday, possibly. I don't think she's going to hit the level that she needs to be at. Or do you think I should keep running it? Like, I mean, you don't want to beat a dead horse either. It's like,
well, with online parties, you have to make sure that you, as the consultant, are messaging everybody inside that party and asking them if they want to place an order. It's not the job of the hostess to do that. It's actually the job of the consultant. So if you've been waiting for her to get the orders to you, you need to change that up and make sure that you are the one connecting with every single customer, because I don't host any parties longer than a day. Honestly, not going to lie, because I cannot stand doing a party for 5 days online, doing a party for 7 days online. I personally don't find I get more orders the longer it's open. And so I do my parties within an hour. 1 hour they're done. I mean, I leave it open for a couple of days.
Like sort
leave
of
it
like,
open for a couple of days,
yeah.
like 3, but 1 day is the party, and you're only going to get 1 hour of a party, right? And then I make sure I close it like 2 days after that. And so it's my job as the consultant to message every single person inside that party to say, were you interested in ordering any Scentsy, blah, blah, blah. So I do that myself, because I've noticed the hostess doesn't, right? So I take that upon myself to do that.
Yeah, and I've been doing that. I've been emailing people and that. And I think, like I said, I think I'm just going to have to tell her, because we did extend it for another, like I extended it for 2 weeks. And then I think I'm just going to have to say to her, I think we're going to have to close it down on Sunday. And, and then maybe I'll give her some little,
that's what I usually do. Like a free bar, or a couple, like 2 free bars or something. You just have to, like, how I figure out my free stuff is I take the consider the amount of the order that you got. Let's just say you have $200 order, so your commission on that is $25 or is $50. So technically, if you can give her 2 bars and you're not going to be out very much, right? And so I always consider that when I'm giving out free stuff. So like if her party was only $100, you're getting paid about $25. So you don't want to give any more than $25. Like you're not going to give her anything probably close to $25, right? So keep that in consideration when you're giving stuff away, of the amount of PRV and pay that you're getting versus what you want to give away.
Yeah, I'm still figuring out the pay stuff and that too. I get
But yeah, I mean, a free bar, like if her order is less than 200, a free bar or a room spray or something is sufficient.
Yeah, I like the circles. I like to put those in for people because I don't even know if she has a warmer. Like she bought pet stuff from me and then she wanted to do a party and that, but well, I guess she did because she wanted to, she must use wax because there was a warmer that she wanted to get. That's how we got her to do the party and that. But yeah, I feel bad for them when they don't hit that level, right?
I know, I do too. Yeah.
But
So question about messaging them. Sometimes when I do parties and you go to message them, if you're not friends, it says that. How do you get them to let you message them?
I don't think I haven't had many issues of me messaging them. Usually like in my online parties, I like to do videos. I'll do like small, short, 2-minute videos. And one of them is like the introduction. And I always, in an introduction, you can always say, I'll message you near the end of the party to see if there's anything you wanted. So there's that as well. But
I've tried doing that, but then they don't answer my messages.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're looking at it, then they probably don't want anything. If they are not looking at it, A lot of times, I don't know, like, I mean, some people absolutely don't want you contacting them or they don't want anything. But yeah, if you're messaging them and they're reading it and not getting back to you, then I would just leave it. But if they said something like, yeah, I'll connect with you later for the order, I will then message them and say, just checking to see if you have that order you want to place. Like, I will do a follow-up because they said they want something. But if they're not messaging you at all, there's not much you can do about that.
All right. Any other questions?
I was just gonna say, I have to get going here.
Yep, that's okay. Thank you so much, Carla, for sharing all of that. That was incredible. Yeah, I
You're
can
welcome.
stay on and answer questions or anything that you guys need. But thank you so much,
Right.
Carla.
Thanks for having me, you
All
guys.
right. See ya.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to stop the recording just so it doesn't go too long. So